I have a couple other rules. I commit based on capabilities, right? Which is like, I call it reality-based project management. Now, if you are doing some of the real estate renovation work yourself and you're relying on watching YouTube videos to do the work, okay, which, you know what, I'm going to admit, why do I know about this? Because I've done it.
You're calling Eric out right now. Like that is how we got our start, was watching YouTube videos. It worked, but it is not the best way.
Right. So I had a problem with this training center that I'm working on. Is we have a couple bathrooms in the training center and we were tiling them, and I had a problem getting tilers in here. And so I was watching YouTube videos. I tiled bathrooms before. It's not my favorite thing to do. Plus, it's not the best use of my time.
Right.
Right. So I was watching YouTube videos because a lot has changed in the tiling world since I tiled my first bathroom like 30 years ago. And I bought my Schluter board and I bought all the equipment to tile the bathroom. And I'm looking at this project. I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this about as much as I want to have a root canal. And so my cousin, he was a mason. He goes, I'll come up and help you tile. Right. So I'm like, I had second thoughts about working with this cousin. I had some experiences with him 12 years ago. He had a little bit of a drinking problem. And he goes, well, I haven't drank in 5 years. I'm like, maybe I'll give you another chance. And so I said, okay, how about you come up? And so, I don't know what triggered him. He went to the bar the night before he was coming up, got beat up at the bar, shows up really damaged 2 days into my tiling project. And he's supposed to spend a whole week on it. He goes, my boss just called me. I got to go work on another concrete project. I'm like, you know what? Don't come back. I'll find somebody else. But oh my God, these things could be a nightmare. So I'm still, and I was watching the YouTube videos, but I said, you know what? I will get a new tiling person. And sure enough, I did. And luckily it's raining this week and the tiling person is downstairs finishing the bathroom because he didn't want to work outside. Yeah. So sometimes you got to work with the opportunity. So that's what it's like, leveraging all of your sources of capital, right? So we don't just have money. We have relationships. We have infrastructure. We have capabilities that we can use to get this work done and be creative about it, right? So, sometimes like when you're in a resource constrained environment, like you just don't have the talent available. So you're going to have to be creative. So how I found the new tile person is I went to the hardware store where I had ordered a lot of my supplies. And I said, I'm having a problem getting a good tiling person. And so he gave me this name of this company, Halden. And he comes by to visit and he said, oh, yeah, I talked to Scott at the hardware store. And he said, yeah, he said you were pretty good to work with, which was fantastic. Right?
Absolutely.
So then the contractor knew I was good to work with. I knew he was good to work with because the hardware store recommended him. And we went back and forth. He sent me a contract. He sent me his insurance. He got an insurance right. A little tile job. I thought that was great. And then he goes, if it's raining out next week, I can work a lot on your project. I'm like, that's awesome. But I recognized what his constraints were. And it's not like I already got the certificate of occupancy. This job isn't that critical on the tile. It's not like managing the sheetrockers.
Yeah.
So, leveraging your sources of capital, which is one of them is your reputation, right?
Absolutely.
It's your reputation. So I had a good reputation with the hardware store. So he basically vouched for me. He vouched for the guy doing the tiling as well, right? The new and so it didn't require any money up front and much easier to work with. So that's part of it is your reputation, your existing infrastructure, your knowledge and skills. I mean, like we can all watch YouTube videos, but you really want to be doing that?
Yeah. Well, it's not scalable. You might not have tons of cash especially when you first get started. So it's easy to go that route. But what you don't realize is it takes longer. We had projects that could have been done in 6 weeks that we were taking 3 months to do because we were doing it ourselves. And if we could have paid less in holding costs and gotten that property rented faster, in the end, we would have been less stressed and we would have had it, cash flow better. But, it's the lesson you have to learn along the way. And it's interesting because cash is something that is more finite. So we go to leverage our time, but that's not always the best route. Sometimes it is using your reputation or other people in your network to get to the point where you need to in your project.